All right, what is going on, all you lawn care and landscaping enthusiasts? My name is Jack Duffy, and I am the host of the Green Collar Podcast. Welcome. We got to talk about something, though. Before we get into this, we have to talk about something because I have 2 other episodes of this specific podcast on my channel currently. I think it was going through a drought, and I believe it was stand-on versus sit-down mower. So there's a difference between this episode and this new podcast format than the last one. Obviously, the name is different. Green Collar Podcast versus the Green Collar Entrepreneur Podcast. Why do we change it? Well, because it's a fucking mouthful for me to say, dude. All right? God. No, but it just flows better. And I wanted to rebrand our channel to the Green Collar Entrepreneur. And the reason I did that was because we are creating a network of channels within the Laurel network, which is all of our videos are produced by Laurel Studios. I own the company, just to be transparent and be honest with you. So I want to just be completely transparent with that. I do own Laurel Photography, which is the company of the division, which is Laurel Studios. I hope that made sense. Probably did. Let's get into this. Why we changed the name of our channel to Green Collar Entrepreneur versus JW Lawn Care is because it flows better. It's branding. It's a YouTube channel. It's not my company. It's something. I don't make videos to promote or market my company in my area. That's basically what it is. We have a YouTube channel that is made for that called JW Landscaping, which is my company here in Bucks County, PA. And if you want to subscribe to that, go right ahead. I won't complain. But this channel is more revolving around the green industry, lawn care, landscaping, and all of the above. That is what we are going to be talking about on this channel. And I wanted a podcast because I'm so passionate about this goddamn industry, dude. I am so passionate about it. I love it. There's so much for me to still learn, even though I've been in this industry for now since 2016, technically. But I haven't really been in depth and really taking it serious since about 2020. So 2020 was the first year that I really pushed my company. I own a company, like I said, JW Landscaping here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And I took that company from 2020, where the first 4 years I was kind of just doing it just to make money and pay my bills. That's basically what it was. I was trying to cover my ass and pay my bills. That was basically it. So when in 2020, I wanted to better myself. I had something happen to me in my personal life that I went on this good spiral of self-improvement. I wanted to be the best that I could possibly be for me. And that included my company. And so I found something that I fell in love with, which was the green industry. I started watching YouTube videos. I started watching B&B Lawn Care, Brian's Lawn Maintenance, Keith Calfix. All of those guys I watch regularly. Literally this morning with my cup of coffee, I watched a Brian's Lawn Maintenance video because I just feel like I learn so much every time I watch that video. And I also have information for other people out there who just love what we do, man. We just love what we do. We love mowing lawns. We love doing landscaping renovations or installs. We love doing what we do. And not a lot of people can say that in this world. So I want to get with like-minded people and grow my channel, but also help people who are trying to get their foot in this door within our industry. So I changed the name to be a part of a community and build a community with you guys, other lawn and landscaping companies, lawn and landscape enthusiasts out there. That is my goal, dude. Like that is my only goal. So that is why we changed the name. That's why we rebranded everything to the Green Collar Entrepreneur, and this podcast specifically to the Green Collar Podcast. So welcome. Hope you guys stick around. But we are going to talk on this podcast about all of you guys who are trying to get your feet wet within the lawn care industry. So we all started. If you are watching this and you are a vet like me, like all the other guys I just listed, we all started with some rinkety ass mowers, man. Like, let me tell you, we started with literally nothing, right? We can all say that, right? We all started with hand-me-down equipment or trucks that were old and beat up, or trailers that were small, or weed whackers that always ran out of string because they didn't have a big head. Wait, what? Backpack blowers that didn't have a lot of power. mowers that were either 22-inch decks or, for me, luckily, 48-inch. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker with that one. The mower was older than I was. Yikes. So we all started there. You guys are in a way better situation probably than we were back in the day, because you have so much knowledge on YouTube that you can feed off of. Whether it's from me, whether it's from all the guys I listed, whether it's from anybody out there except for the gurus who will tell you, this is how you make $5,000 in a day, without telling you the expenses that company put out there. That's beside the point. I'm going to tell you bluntly. I'm going to tell you honestly. I'm going to tell you what I did, but also I'm going to tell you about financing versus buying outright, and also interest rates. It's a big thing, because financing back in the day wasn't really a thing. We didn't really finance mowers. We didn't finance weed whackers or blowers or anything under the sun. Now you can feel like you can finance from SheffieldFinancial.com. I feel like you guys are in such a better place than we ever were, because we didn't have that knowledge back in 2016, for a lot of the guys that I listed way back. And I'm not trying to age you guys, but if you guys watch this video, I apologize. I didn't mean to age you, but we didn't have that, or we didn't know where to look, right? No one was really helping us other than the people in our lives. And sometimes those people can be assholes about it. Yeah, not great. Yeah, they're going to tell you you're an idiot for starting a lawn care business. What are you, 5? Yeah, let's not do that. I'm going to tell you straight up, it's a tough business. It's a tough thing because it's a saturated market. Everybody and their brother wants to be a lawn care guy. Everyone wants to mow lawns and make money, right? Everybody wants to do it. But if you're really freaking good at it, you don't have to worry about that, because your quality will speak for it. But you have to get to that point. You got to learn. You got to practice. You got to go through the ringer like we all did to get to where we are. Now, let me a little bit about myself, how I started out. So I started my company in 2016 with the goal of just strictly mowing lawns. That's what I started my company with. I don't do that anymore. Well, I do mow. We still mow a lot. We have, I think, 90 plus accounts in mowing. But a lot of our work now is landscaping. A lot of our work now is pressure washing. A lot of our work now possibly could be even hardscaping, because I have a background in hardscaping because my dad was a very big hardscaper. So I want to talk a little bit about who I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going, but also how I can give you some pieces of advice that on mistakes that I made starting out that you can avoid. And that is a lot to do with financing, guys, a lot to do with financing. So let's get into this specific topic. So what are you going to need to start a lawn care company? What I started out with when I started my company back in 2016 was a 48-inch walk behind. It was an Exmark walk behind that my dad had. He ran mowers all throughout the 80s and 90s. And I basically got a hand-me-down mower that he kept over the years because he wanted to mow his own lawn, obviously. And I think he downsized his lawn care side or division of his company very, very massively. That's the best way I can describe it. He had over 200 accounts, I think, with a bunch of different commercial sites and industrial parks. And they had a ton of mowers, but he kept one of them. And so I worked for him in the summers in high school. So I was able to get some experience, get my feet wet with a mower, learn some things, learn how to stripe lawns, learn how to make them really nice, learn the cutting heights difference, all of that kind of stuff I learned when I was in high school. But I was mowing under his company. When I started my company, he gave me that mower because he wanted out. Like, he was like, I'm done mowing. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. So I basically got that hand-me-down for free, for nothing. It was an old mower. It did what it needed to do. We put a new engine on it, and it was good to go. The only problem was I didn't have a fucking trailer. So trailers is another thing that you may need. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I used to, since I didn't have a trailer, I bought 2 ramp boards from Farm and Tractor, or I guess now Tractor Supply. And I had a 2004 Chevy Silverado that I still have to this day, Hank the Tank. Like, he's been through the ringer. Like, we beat him and worked him as hard as we possibly could. But that truck I bought outright when I was 18 years old. I saved money as I was working with my dad for, I think, from like 14, 15 years old to, I want to say 18, almost to the 18 mark of that summer. So I went and bought that truck outright. It was like $15,000, I think. And so I had a truck. Great. Wonderful. but I had to get the mower on the truck. So I bought the ramp boards. And the reason that I recommend a trailer over ramp boards is because it's definitely more safe, like without a doubt. I had many a times where the mower almost tipped on me, or it slid a little bit, or it came down way too fast coming off the trail or off the truck. So it's definitely safer if you have a girlfriend or a mother. I highly recommend the trailer because they will worry about you. We have a coworker, Deanne, who is kind of our mother hen on our crew. And she has said, and still to this day said, that is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life when you guys were taking those mowers off that truck. So if you can afford a trailer, go for it. They run about $1,500 for a 6x10. That'll get you a mower on a trailer. Trucks are a little bit different, right? Facebook Marketplace is some place that I would highly recommend. Again, we didn't have that back then, but this is something that you have now. If you're starting out your company, Facebook Marketplace, you can find a truck, a beater truck for $10,000. If you don't have $10,000, you can find a used car and finance it, or used truck. I've seen guys run Jeeps. I've seen guys run vans. I've seen it all, man. Like you can do it with a trailer, and you can have enough space on your trailer for your weed whacker and your blower, because you don't need 4 weed whackers if it's just you, man. So let's get into the other things that you may need to start up your landscaping company. So right now we have the truck, we have the trailer, right? The other thing that I had that a lot of guys don't, and I'm just going to be completely blunt with you, is I had a place for free to store my equipment. My dad, like I've said, has ran a company for 40 years out of his garage. Okay. They used to have a headquarters. When he downsized, he ran it out of his garage, still does to this day. So he allowed me to keep my mower and keep my weed whackers and such at his garage. And I didn't have to pay a dime in rent because I was living there at the time. And then I moved out, but he still didn't make me pay. So that is a advantage that I had that you guys may not, right? If you guys are in your 30s and you have your own home, have at it, run it out of your garage. If you're a 17, 18-year-old, you may not have that income to buy a rental space. I get it. It's tough. However, I think a lot of people don't understand that a storage unit is just as useful, right? That you can spend $50 a month for a small storage room to fit a mower in. You can do it. I've seen a million guys do that, and it's definitely useful, and it definitely works. So $50, I think they run from $50 to $200 depending on the size of storage unit that you're gonna need. You can do it, right? You can do it. Take some money from the accounts that you are building, right, monthly, and put it toward your storage unit, because you're going to need that to grow. Like this, the whole point of this is not just to, okay, I have the place. Your point of it is to grow. If you don't have a storage unit and you can't get started, you can't grow, right? That done quarterly, So that's one of my biggest pieces of advice. If you don't have a garage of a friend, parent, right, things that they'll allow you to use for free, if you don't have that luxury, storage units are definitely a great option. Let's get into some of the other miscellaneous shit. We'll get into the equipment soon, I promise. That's the sexy stuff. I know everybody wants to talk about equipment, but uniforms, apparel, this is a big one. The reason that I recommend you get 1 or 2 shirts with your brand name on it is because you own a company. This is your identity now. Your business is now who you are. This is your life. This is what you choose. Your brand is you. So if you aren't showing people that is a correlation, if you aren't showing your customers or new potential customers, this is my brand. This is a business. I'm a professional. I want to be professional. Fake it till you make it, baby. Fake it till you make it. Seriously, buy something. You can get them on Spreadshirt. You can get them on Teespring, Vistaprint. They all do it. Very easy. Throw your logo on a shirt. Have something on the back that says who you are, what company you're representing, your company representing, so they know and can refer you to other people instead of just saying, oh, Jack mows the lawn over there, right? They can say JW Landscaping mows our property. Check them out on Google. Boom. There you go. Your phone number and email's right there, or website's right there. They can go to it as you grow. So I highly recommend having a professional look to your brand. Whether you designed your logo or somebody else, you hired somebody to design your logo, it doesn't matter. Put it on your shirt, put it on a hat, put it on your truck, whatever it is, right? Show people that you are professional, that you mean business. This is your business, right? You are the crew that they should hire. not some chuck in a truck. Okay. What are a few other ones? A few other miscellaneous stuff. Oh, safety equipment, sunglasses. Sunglasses are a big one for when you are weed whacking or just strictly mowing and wind blows everything right back into your goddamn face. It has happened to me a badillion times that you don't want grass hitting your eyeball or a stone that you hit when you're edging a driveway. It flies up and hits you right in the face. I have a scar right here from it. If you aren't wearing sunglasses, you need to, okay? You need to start investing in your safety on the job site because you don't want to knock yourself out and be out of work. You're not making money if you're not on a mower. So that's a big one. Ear protection. Ear protection's massive. And the reason ear protection's massive is not because you can listen to music or podcasts and all that shit that we all do, right? We all do it. Well, we all do it. But it's because those mowers are loud as shit, right? And if you're thinking that just because you're running a lawnmower and it won't be loud and it won't affect your ears, if you are running it 8 months out of the year, every single day, it's going to affect your hearing. Like, truthfully, my future wife can vouch for this. We have to turn the TV up to stupid volumes sometimes after my days of work because I can't hear it. I'm 32. Wear ear protection. Seriously. I wish that I had sooner. Do it. Do it. You can find them at Home Depot for like $20. They might not have Bluetooth. You don't need it. You don't need Bluetooth. You don't need that. Any of your music screaming in your ear. You don't need it. Just get something that is just a standard ear protection. And Isotunes has them. Raycon has them. We run Raycon. Raycon earbuds. Highly recommend. But they run like $80, I think. So you can find them on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. That's all of the miscellaneous shit you're going to need to start your company. Okay. Uniforms, safety equipment, and some other miscellaneous stuff. I guess you could get a website, things like that. Maybe a Google landing spot for your company. That's just miscellaneous shit you can do. So let's get into what everybody wants to talk about, because that's what everyone always wants to talk about in the lawn care industry and landscaping industry and green industry is we all want to talk about the equipment. Yeah, the sexy equipment. We all know it. It is the thing that brings us all in, right? When you see machines, I'm talking like Skag V-Ride XLs. We're talking X-Mark anything, right? They're all sexy. Right? They're all sexy to look at. Hustler, badass brand. Bad Boy, another good one, right? Rebel, I think, is another one. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of a different thing. But all of these brands make badass machines. Like they are sexy. They're cool looking, right? You want to feel like a badass when you're mowing, right, baby? Like, I get it. Because I'm also like that. My Instagram is filled with just mowers. Okay, I get it. But you're starting out, dude. You don't want to go into debt. You don't want to have this stupid payment that you're going to have to make on a mower because you want a sexy machine. You want the look. You want to be the best you can possibly be, right? I need to show my customers that I mean business. Bullshit. That's a bullshit right there, man. You don't need the mowers. These sexy commercial mowers. You don't need a commercial mower to start out. I know so many guys who started out on a 22-inch Toro Recycler, okay? That ain't a sexy mower. Believe me, I have one, right? Okay, like it's not a sexy mower, okay? You don't need something sexy. I know Honda makes a great little mower that you can use for like, I don't know, $500, $600, like versus $14,000 for a mower. You don't want to be spending crazy money at the start. You want to be saving the cheddar, right? You want to be saving your profits so that one day down the line, you can go to a Skag dealer and go, I want a Skag V-Ride XL. That's what you want to do. That's how you build your company. When you're starting out, I highly recommend you get a push mower or a standard zero turn from like Home Depot. Toro has one at Home Depot. I think There's an electric one too. I think it's called Eco, I think is the brand. But they also have John Deere ones that are like 32-inch decks for 0 turns. You can get one at a pretty decent price, between like $1,000, $5,000. You can get one that'll get the job done, because all in all, at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're mowing grass. Okay, that's all we're doing. We're cutting the grass. The whole goal of what you're doing is to get the grass cut. Now, don't get me wrong. Higher quality machines, bigger commercial level and cut quality, yeah, they're going to stripe better. They're going to look better. They're going to cut cleaner, right? That's just how it works, right? You're getting what you pay for. But if your goal is to just cut the grass, you just need a mower that has 3 blades spinning underneath you. That's it. So to start out, I would highly recommend going to Home Depot, talk to somebody, figure out your price point, do some research. Maybe you can find a good deal. But I don't recommend going in and saying to Skag or Kubota or John Deere or any of these companies and going, I want to finance a mower at $250 to $300 a month when you only have 8 accounts. It's just not feasible. Even if you have 0% interest, it's just not feasible. You're not going to make any money, right? You're not going to make any money until you get to a point where you have cash flow coming in from your accounts that you can allocate money toward a monthly payment at 0% interest. Do it. Right? But you're not there yet. You need to start out slow. You need to start out with things that you can afford so that you can make as much profit at the start as possible. So definitely recommend that. The other thing you're going to need is a weed whacker / edge trimmer. You just need it. No matter where you are in the country or wherever you are in the world, truly, you're going to need it if you're cutting grass. It just is the icing on the cake that you need to have with those clean edges, making the beds look perfect, right? All of those kinds of concepts, you need to have that professional look, because if you don't, somebody else is going to get it from you. They're going to steal that property from you, because if you are just mowing, that's it. That's not mowing, right? You need to do every stage of the job. So, weed whacker, Echo still and Red Max are the big 3. Everybody kind of knows that. There are electric weed whackers that you can get at a pretty decent price, but Echo has a ton, and I think Stihl does too, that are like commercial grade versus like residential. They're going to float between like $250 to $400, I think. I think we bought our 2620. I think we spent like $399 for that. And that's like, in my opinion, the best weed whacker and edge trimmer out there. We run them and all my guys love them. So I highly recommend those if you're in the commercial level. If you are willing to spend the $400, if you have that money saved, I would definitely recommend that one. But if you don't have money like that, you can buy a edge trimmer for like $150, $200. So you can find them, do your research, but you're definitely going to need it. Okay, the other thing that you're going to need is a backpack blower, because, well, you're blowing grass everywhere, and if you leave grass everywhere, it's going to look like crap. You need a backpack blower to clean up after you are done your job. Backpack blowers are another thing like weed whackers. You can find them cheaper, but you can also see daunting prices like $600, $700 for Red Max or Echo or Stihl. You don't need a 9010 Echo. You don't. I know a lot of guys who run them. I have a Red Max EZ 9000, 8000, one of those. They're for leaf cleanups. They're for blowing leaves, piles of leaves that are above your head. That's what that's for. Okay? You don't need that. You don't want that, truly, because if you're blowing grass out of a bed and you use one of those blowers, you're going to be blowing mulch everywhere that possibly you even put down. So don't use those. You don't need it for mowing. You need a smaller backpack blower, right? There's electric versions out there, might be cheaper, but Echo makes one, I believe, for like $350. I think my dad has one for smaller jobs, and you can get a handheld one, like a little guy, just to blow off walks and driveways. If you don't have big properties, you don't need a bigger blower. You could find a handheld one for probably $100. They're out there. Do your research. You'll find it, but you definitely need a backpack blower, without a doubt. So, that's kind of it. You need a truck. You need possibly a trailer if you want to do that. If you don't need to do that, I get it. I didn't run a trailer for the first 3 years of my business, so I get it. If you don't want to spend them $1,500 to buy a 6x10 trailer, I get it. Definitely need a mower. Like that's should be probably priority number one on your list. I don't know, there's a thought, but you need a backpack blower, you need an edge trimmer. Some people like edging with like the blade. I don't really use that very often, but if you want to get that, if you have the money for it, go ahead. But you also need the miscellaneous stuff, man. I know people overlook uniforms, safety equipment all the time. You need those. You need them. I'm telling you, you need the safety equipment, and your branding is everything to your company to grow. Invest in it. Seriously, invest in it. It's not a waste of money. People still, to this day, they see our shirts, they know who we are. And that's what you're going for. Recognition. You want people who you already have as customers to refer you to another customer, because if they say your name, oh, Jack, yeah, you drive silver, you mow, versus, oh, yeah, this is JW Landscaping. Who does my lawn? Yeah, check them out on Google. Professionalism, chuck in a truck. Which one do you want? Professionalism. You want to fake it till you make it, boys, okay? So that's really it. That's all you really need when it comes to starting up a lawn care company. We could have a debate about financing versus buying outright. I've seen both sides of it. I've outright bought a mower, and I outright bought a truck. So I know that game a little bit, and I've financed machines. I have 2 machines on finance currently, and I have a truck that's financed. So I'm doing both, right? So we could have a conversation about that. But let me know in the comment section below. If you guys, some of you vets out there, I'm sure, are watching, are like, this guy, you missed all this. Like, what? Well, you need this, you need that. I see you, asshole. I see you. No, but if you guys are vets and you have other in the industry, if you're vets in the industry, if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments below. Like, I want to help people, man. Like, I want all of the guys who are starting out to have the information that we didn't have back then, to not make the mistakes that we did, right? And if you guys have horror stories when you started out, let me know what you guys started out with. If you are somebody who is 5, 6, 7, even multiple decades into your company, let me know in the comments section below. I want to hear your story. But if I missed anything, let all the guys who are starting out know in the comments. And yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. Many more episodes to come every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this YouTube channel, and Spotify and all the other places. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. It really does help us out a lot. And if you want to ring the notification bell, have at it, dude. I ain't going to bother me. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.